Kathy Woodard with Clemson University Public Service and Agriculture, and I am here at the South Carolina Water Resources Conference in Columbia, South Carolina. I have with me here this afternoon one of our presenters. Her name is Erica Hollis. She's the Interim Director for Upstate Forever, which is a nonprofit organization in Greenville, South Carolina. So can you tell me, Erica, first of all, what Upstate Forever is?
Upstate Forever is a conservation organization based in Greenville, South Carolina, and our mission is to protect clean water, clean air, and unique lands in upstate South Carolina.
So why is that important, in particular for, let's say, Greenville, South Carolina?
We're seeing a lot of development in the Greenville area. People are coming in from around the nation. They found that that's a very attractive place to live. So we're having an incredible amount of development in the region, and we want to protect lands and water quality for future generations. So we're trying to encourage better development practices that help consolidate development so that we don't lose the qualities of the upstate that we love today.
So what makes a conference like this important for you in the work that you do?
It helps us spread the work that we do in the water program. In the water program, we take on issues from a number of different ways. We've dealt with stormwater issues. We work on that field. We reconnect people to rivers through the South Carolina Adopt a Stream program. We were instrumental in getting that program up and running in the state. We're very engaged in blueway mapping, getting people on the rivers, encouraging them to do river recreation. And most recently, and what we're here to talk about at this conference, is our watershed planning efforts, trying to help utilities look at their regions and come up with ways to mitigate impacts from non-point source pollution in their waterways.
So tell me a little bit more about your presentation and what you'll be talking about tomorrow, I think is when your presentation.
Yes, for the past few years we've been partnering with drinking water utilities to develop what are called watershed-based plans. These are grants funded through the South Carolina DHEC program through their drinking water, source water revolving funds. The purpose of these plans is to create some sort of strategy to help these utilities protect their drinking water sources from non-point source pollution. So in the Tiger River watershed, we're looking at 3 basins, the Middle, the North, and the South Tiger Rivers. There are 3 drinking water utilities that operate in this region, and there's also a considerable amount of development coming to that part of the upstate because it's between Greenville and Spartanburg, and so we're seeing a lot of development coming in, so a lot of lands are being converted, and with that is the potential for additional pollution. And so what we've been doing is we're focusing on identifying lands that are most important to protect for water quality through a GIS analysis tool and incorporating those results into our watershed-based plan.
So you're talking about the use of GIS mapping, and we've been talking a lot at this conference about emerging technologies and the importance that those are taking on as it relates to future planning efforts. So how did the use of that tool make your effort more effective?
Well, we've done these plans before, and initially they all involve a public outreach component, and what you do is you look at all the available data in the watershed through the state agencies or whatever. You do a data research and you compile all that information. Then it's really important to do an on-the-ground survey of the watershed to identify hot spots and figure out where you're going to want to focus your restoration or protection efforts in the future. But with GIS, we were able to help take that information and further refine it because we were able to look at various criteria. Say, for example, a lot of the work we do is on agricultural best management practices, and so recommending places where we would want to do that. And so by taking this GIS data, we were able to create this criteria process where we rank parcels based on different elements such as locations near an impaired stream, the types of soils, land use patterns, and put this into a system where we rank these criteria, and then it helps us identify parcels which satisfy those criteria, and it helps us pinpoint where we want to target our efforts.
As a nonprofit, what partnerships have you found that have been critical to the work that you do?
Well, in this situation, most DHEC grants require a cost share aspect to them. And so getting the utilities, the drinking water utilities on board was really important. They obviously recognize the need that protecting these resources will also protect their bottom line and help keep their water sources safe for their customers. We work closely with the different local governments, and that's very important as well, because once we have our plan developed that lines up all the strategies that we're going to use for these various protection efforts, we need people on the ground who know the landowners that can help us make those connections. And sometimes it's the people that work through the county. They have a lot of engagement with their local citizens, so the soil and water conservation group people are really helpful. The universities, we've worked with Clemson and also USC Upstate. So they have their avenue into the public as well, because a lot of these programs, they're voluntary incentive programs. So we could have this wonderful plan and all these solutions to protect water quality, but if we can't get public participation, it doesn't go a long way. So having those people who have the connections on the ground really helps us get our message out.
So do you as a nonprofit have a huge membership base?
We have around 2,000 members, and we're continuing to grow. We encourage membership at any level. We just work with a lot of different groups across the upstate to kind of target areas of importance.
It takes a village. So yeah, it's one of those things about when the importance of engagement is a part of the whole effort. Well, thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me.